All right, as we get everyone set for our U15 Boys Championship, we're down to our final 3 players in our other divisions in the U18 for both boys and girls. There's a final elimination bracket match going on. We'll talk about what players are involved with that once practice is complete. But right now, the U15 Boys Championship, got about 90 seconds of practice left for Donaven, Kline, and Miles Gordon. Kline undefeated in the bracket, so Gordon will have to win back-to-back 2-game total pin matches in order to take home the title. And our first 2 matches today for U18, or pardon me, for U12 mixed and U15 girls, sweeps by the undefeated player. So those championship rounds were done in 2 games. So once we have the final minute of the practice complete, Brandon Bohn will be handling the announcements to get the U15 boys kicked off. Once again, this is a fresh application of the 43-foot pattern used in this tournament. We'll talk a little bit more about that once we get underway. 30 seconds of practice remaining for these players.
Okay. Alrighty, practice is now complete. Donaven has elected to start the match on the left lane. Parents and fans, how about a nice send-off as these two compete for the U15 boys title at the 25th annual Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament. Donaven Kline versus Miles Gordon.
Awesome announcing by Brandon Bohn. One would expect none less for professional. Oh, it's been a long weekend. You know, you think now with the facial hair it would be entirely different, but no, Phil screws that up again. So we are underway here. And Donaven Kline starting things off on lane 3 here inside of Rev Rates VIP. Yeah, that's why bowling's fair. Yeesh. So you got one. So we're just making some quick scoreboard adjustments here. That's a little small. We'll fix that momentarily. Let's make sure you get your first look at Miles Gordon. And Gordon comes up light. There we go. Now we got you everybody's scoreboard. One would think this would be a relatively easy spare for a bowler of Gordon's capabilities. And, of course, as soon as I say that, the open frame. Once again, Kline, the undefeated bowler in the bracket. So he will need just a single 2-game match victory to secure the championship. While Gordon will need to win twice to take down the title. You see that nice relaxed left shoulder. And hey, let's go with 2-8 to a stuffed 9. So interesting ball reaction for Gordon for his first 2 frames. Switches the polyester, as many players like to do. Take the lane out of play. Still has a little baby hook on it, but makes the cover. And the first mark of the game for Gordon. Donaven Kline was your number 7 seed coming into today after qualifying. And Kline gets a little payback off that 7-10 with the second frame strike. Kline lost his opening, or took down his opening match 410 to 308 over Fogarty Jr. and fired a 482 against Mariguchi and 422 against Ryan Hibberkern to lock up his spot undefeated in the bracket into this championship match. And that one just a little over acceleration through the bottom. I don't think that was necessarily a target miss by Kline. Watching that reaction, he just knew a little fast, didn't get through it well, and now the always tough super washout, 1, 2, 4, 6, 10, and only gets 3, so that count's going to ding him a little bit. And now Gordon. Any mark gives him an early advantage. And looking for his first strike of game 1. And comes up light. All right, now we got the scoreboard updated. Took a little bit here. Is he going to get a lucky trip of the 6-pin? Doesn't happen for Gordon. So a spare here for Gordon. He'd have a 10-pin advantage early on here in our U15 Boys Championship. No problem on the cover. Over to Kline. There you see really under that ball at the start. Shreds the rack that time. A little devastation on the 7-pin. No witnesses to that assault on the 7. Kline averaging just over 210 on the day. Well, that's a nice street. Let's have the 5 go into the 7-pin zone and then just stand up in the flat gutter. No problem on the spare. Gordon had a bit of a longer road to get to this championship match, as he lost his opening match against Matthew Winger, 449 to 410. Immediately put Gordon in the elimination bracket. As Gordon gets them all to go. And in the elimination bracket in round 2, Gordon took down Tyndall 431 to 346. Maraguchi 406 to 275. Fogarty Jr. 408 to 402 in the nail biter, and then pretty much a blowout. Habercorn had some struggles early in game 1 of the final elimination round match, and Gordon took care of business early in that match to get to this championship round. Hey, we got a double. Doubles do exist, ladies and gentlemen, and they happen here inside of Rev Rates during our U15 Boys Championship match. That's our first double by Gordon, and Gordon extends his early lead. And Kline, he's got that lane figured out, at least for the last 3 shots, as he's perfect on lane 4, 3 for 3. Problem is, he's 0 for with 2 opens on lane 3, and he needs a double here to keep himself in the lead. As we've reached the 7th frame of game 1 of this 2-game total pin match. Kline steps it out, and the ball stepped out on him and stayed out. Second time we've seen a washout for Kline on that lane. This time he doesn't have to deal with the 6-pin. Doesn't make it any easier to pick up the spare. And another open frame for Kline. And Gordon, boy, he can't wait to jump on top of this. Can go up 23 and looking at possibly 33 early. There you go. It's not quite Thanksgiving, it's fall, but that's a turkey on the board for Miles Gordon. And Parker Bohn III joining me in the booth once again. And we are getting down to the serious part. This bowling center has gotten a lot more quiet over the last hour.
Just a little bit.
Than it was earlier. There's no joking around anymore anywhere in the building, I think. The joviality has left the building.
Well, the friends are rooting the true friends on,
right.
And obviously they're on both sides of the fence at the present moment. But right now, these two boys here, they want to win.
Yeah. And once again, lane 3, kind of the bugaboo for both bowlers, but Miles has figured out one more time than Kline has, and that's the difference maker right now. The 3-bagger for Gordon, and 1 open, no doubles, 3 opens, all on that left lane for Donaven Kline.
Yeah, well, Donaven has history here. He's bowled here quite a few times. You know, living not too far away. That doesn't mean that Miles isn't going to, go lightly by any means.
No.
He wants to win, and he's going to show, I don't care about your history. I want to go out here and figure out how to knock over some pins.
Well, Kline's going to try to stay perfect on this lane, and he still has a chance to put up 193 with that open for Gordon. His max 209, so this match really can tighten up in a hurry if Kline can find the last 5.
Well, I didn't see the other strikes prior to that one, but that one there certainly went through him the right way.
1 shredder, 2 absolutely packed, just like that. So he's at 2 washouts in the 3rd and 7th frames on this left lane. He also had a blower 7-10 to start the match. That was one of those ones where you're going to watch it 7 or 8 times and go, how did that happen? Also had a blower 7-pin in the 5th on this lane. So this has been the real bugaboo for Kline here in game 1. Yeah.
Oh. How about a little bit of power on that one there, huh?
That head pin flexed before it hit the 10. It put on a pose.
Got his dad and his mom in the back here rooting him on. Dave drills all of his stuff. Dave has Dave Kline's Pro Shop. He has 2 of them, actually.
Okay.
One over in Hamilton Lanes and one on just across the border there, right in Pennsylvania. So takes care of his son, sets everything up.
Yikes. Big trouble.
A little bit of a turn of events here
Yeah.
Since Donovan's last 6-3. Matter of fact, let's look up at the scoreboard. 6-3 starts to be, that's as popular a number as strike is.
The interesting part with the lane choice, too, if it gets down to the 10th frame of game 2, Kline's going to have to finish on that left lane on lane 3. And that insult to injury, there's a chop for Gordon. And now Gordon's before you sat down, I was going to say, here comes a runaway game 1 for Gordon. Nope. I mean, it just shows how quick momentum can change in 3 frames. Boom. Whole new ball game.
It is amazing sometimes.
So the maximum now, 186. Kline, after being down 30 pins halfway through this game, could be ahead at the end of game 1. Phenomenal patience by the young man to finally figure out lane 3. Let's see if Gordon can do the same here. There you go.
Tell you what, Miles' ball certainly not lacking power going through the pins.
No, either one of these young players. Just to watch the two-handed stylings of many, many young players nowadays, and the ease that they generate power, and so much of that generated from the legs. And I'm trying to figure out, he's got a sneaker on his right foot, it looks like. So he's a guy that, or is that a bowling shoe? I can't tell. He's got 2 different colored shoes on.
It looks like it's a bowling shoe.
Okay. So maybe it's just an old, comfortable bowling shoe he had from the past, and he's got a newer shoe on his left foot? Who knows? Or he's making a fashion statement. And how about that for making a statement? That silly 4-9 tried to stand against the might of one Miles Gordon, and it had no chance.
But he knew that it was going to go high.
Yeah.
You could see him waving his hand like he was trying to get it a little bit further down the lane, and the 4-9 was there, and okay, and well, one trips out, and the other one rolls over, and lo and behold, you got a double on the board.
There we go. And I think Nolan Rendisi is a Donaven Kline fan. There's Nolan sitting right behind him on the bench. Our U12 mixed champion. That's a rack splitter. There you go.
Yep, finishes strong, 186.
We'll see if it's enough for a game 1 lead, but once again, it is 2 games total pins for those of you joining us for the first time today.
Donaven using the hole approach, standing all the way back. He uses his legs really, really well on his way up to the line.
Oh, and bookend 7-10. Start the game with a 7-10, now end it with a 7-10. My goodness.
By no means the luckiest break in the world. The most unfortunate break.
The most frustrating of breaks, because what's the adjustment you make?
Trying to make sure you knock the other 2 down on the first shot.
And that one swallowed up by the pin setter.
Yeah, that's a pretty unfortunate break. Really bad break. On a double going into 10th, 9 spare is not bad. It keeps the game, keeps the match really close.
Yep.
You get an unfortunate break like that. Now you find yourself 27 pins down. The only great thing that Donaven has going in his favor is, regardless of how this game goes, if he does what he needs to do and gets lined up, if he's fortunate, he'll win by 28 pins. And if not, he's still got that other match or second match in his back pocket that he can pull out a trump card and go, okay, let's do this again.
Yep. And there's a great scramble shot by Gordon. And good statement to start his second game.
Miles starting off strong for sure.
Looking for a 10 down lane. Wow, and a wrap 10. He was right over that dark board, a 10th board down lane for his break point. That seems to be what quite a few of these young players are targeting to get at the face of the pocket correctly.
Yeah, I would think that both of these guys are playing the lanes very, very similar when we sit there and we watch them. Great pass by Donaven. Solid ring in 10. Made to spare. He's probably thinking, what do I got to do over there right now?
And for the first time in a championship match today, Parker, I see 0 urethane on the rack. We saw it during the U12 with Randisi and a purple hammer. We saw the red storm ball for Anna Anthony during the U15. So these young players are deciding that resin is the way to go.
Well, they both have some speed. So throwing the ball fairly hard, they want to make sure that the ball is going to recover. Whereas a lot of the other players don't have the speed that they can generate, and or they've decided, regardless of age, they like to watch their ball hook a little early and trap. It kind of sets up. Therefore, it doesn't lose control of the pocket, and they're fine, although they want to throw a bunch of strikes. Yep. They're actually fine with the fact that 9 spare is going to get a frame filler and move along.
Second frame for Gordon, looking for the double. Yeah, he knew it the way he stepped out of that shot after the ball went through. The balance was not perfect on that shot.
Exactly.
Hey, I hear the VIP voting is in, or the MVP voting is in for this tournament, and behind Miles here, sitting down watching, we can see your lovely wife, Leslie. I think she's MVP of the event again. The voting's in.
Hands down. Hands down. She sets up everything. She makes sure that it all runs. She's got the time down. She knows literally how many people we need per squad. We got to get some people for volunteers. We got to look for a little bit of this and get another basket for that. And, well, lo and behold, the next thing you know, we more than doubled the prize fund.
Nice. Yeah, over $25,000 getting paid out to these young players in all 5 divisions today. Oh my, that's 7. Somebody call an ambulance. That's 7-pin. Might need CPR.
Yeah, he didn't get cheated on that one.
Yep. So for the U15 boys, it's $900 for first for scholarship, $500 for second for these 2 young players. That by the time they get to college, I might buy 2 textbooks for the $900. $500 will get you one.
Let's hope they get 3.
Yikes! He should be happy the 10's not there.
Yeah, he got that one wide down lane, and with the speed that he's throwing, the only way that ball's going to start to come back, the 2 of them together better carve a little path in the lane.
Yeah. So just a single pin, so he goes right to the polyester.
Smart move. Good move.
Uh-oh.
Almost not the best, but
Well, he knew it was online.
yeah, well, it was online just a little bit off to the right. But the great thing is, spare's a spare. Filling the frame is not a bad thing.
Yep, both players even through 3. However, Gordon up by 27 after the 186 in game 1. Declines 159. And now his roles are reversed. He couldn't figure out lane 3 until the 9th frame of game 1. Now he's got lane 3 down, and he can't figure out lane 4.
But if you look at that pass there, he gets really solid at the line, makes a great follow-through, projects the ball to his target, and then when the ball is well off of his hand through his target, then he puts his right foot down as if he's ready to run, well, bluntly, I put it around the building. You know, unlike some of the shots that I'll say him and Miles both can get to, they get a little bit quick. And, you know, honestly, Phil, all that comes down to is age.
Yeah.
The more they bowl, they're going to realize, let me post it instead of getting up real quick and stepping out of the shot. Miles had a little double hop there at the foul line.
Yeah, he really took a lot of time before getting the approach on that shot. I don't know if he was kind of playing a move off the shot in the 2nd frame or what may have happened, but yeah, he definitely took a little more time than normal.
Smart play for him. It's on a strike. 2 is 4. So let's get the wood that we can, and can't do much more about it. Let's move along.
You know, there's shots where you want to take that little extra time to make a good shot, but you know, sometimes the overanalyzation can come into play.
Oh, yeah.
And I wonder if that was the case there for Gordon.
Well, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and regroup.
Hard to believe you can say weak 10-pin for the speed and rev rate of these young players. That's a weak 10-pin.
Yeah, that wasn't exactly I mean, pocket-wise, he was happy with that one.
Right.
But he would much rather that the 6 took the 10 out. Or, well, let me just say in their case, they're waiting for the head pin to come over about Mach 6 and destroy it. Good spare. Yep. Tell you what, both players, I love the way that they go about shooting their spares, and that really tells me why they're both still standing here right now. They're not trying to overthrow it. They're throwing it firm, but more importantly, they're throwing it straight, filling the frame, making a spare. We'll be back.
Kline, biggest shots of the day to this point for me.
We posted that one better. Sure did. Showed too.
Lane 4, back in his favor. Now can he make it happen, get a 3-bagger on the board, and really get himself down to less than a single-digit deficit it would be if he can strike here overall in the match.
Notice the way that ball went through the pins. The 6-pin snapped that 10 right out of there like it was his job.
Donaven. Kline taking a couple extra slides at the end of the approach, make sure the texture on the sole is where he needs it to be. And really puts that ball in his forearm.
For the lead of the match.
A little quick out of the hand, it looked like.
Oh. Yeah, a little quick that time, but overall, pretty decent pass.
I watch him wrap under that ball and put it on his forearm, and I just feel pain shooting throughout my wrist and elbow. It's amazing flexibility to be able to do something like that.
Phil, I'm not going to go to age, but you were able to do that back in the 1960s. Just the game that we were taught, the game that we learned, we didn't learn it that way.
Right.
Youth of today, they understand it that way.
You know, it's always kind of funny when people go, well, so-and-so wouldn't have been good in this day and age because of their form or the time and stuff like that. But you know what happens is bowlers adapt when they're good at the sport. And if the two-handed style would have been out there when you were a teenager, get down, 10-pin. You probably would have been a two-hander. Maybe.
Well,
I mean, if that's what was taught back then.
Exactly. I've always said this. I'm a firm believer. You take the top 3 bowlers, male or female, from any generation, and let's give you a decade, whoever they were. 3 may go to 1. 2 might go to 3. Maybe 2 goes to 1. 1 might dip down to 3. But those top 3 bowlers are still going to be your 3 bowlers.
Right.
Because their hand-eye coordination, regardless of release, allowed them to supersede everybody else.
Yeah, they would have found a way to be successful.
Miles Gordon on the lane for a double here.
Oh.
Super shot there.
That had a little extra crunch on it when it got through the pins.
He wasn't waiting for the head pin to come over to take the 10 out that time.
So 238 the maximum score for Gordon.
Yeah.
249 the maximum score for Kline. So no matter what, Kline can't shut out Gordon this soon. Oh!
He turned around and looked at Miles. You can do that, so can I.
Well, he was first thinking, oh, no, yeah, you see the exhale there. Oh, no, not again. And then once the head pin got done showing us its best ballet moves on the way across the pin deck,
exactly.
took the 10 down.
Pretty impressive right there.
Right. So Kline still a chance to win this match with a comeback, but it's going to take more strikes and a little help from his opponent.
Exactly.
And you can't ever count on help from an opponent. You got to put those strikes on the board yourself. 8th frame for Kline.
Pretty good pass right there. Wow.
Oof.
Wow,
Did you order new pins to replace these to go in the U18 final? My goodness, I'm surprised there's that shrapnel at this point.
We've got them coming in tomorrow, maybe.
All right. Some high-quality Brunswick Red Crowns there. Those will hold up for a while.
Did you notice the way his ball went right through the 8-9 that time? That's the optimum strike. Perfection at its best. Miles looking to get a triple.
Get there short. And now that glance at the scoreboard.
Glance at the scoreboard. I'm going to tell you right now, Donaven's in the driver's seat.
Yep. Now 217 the maximum for Gordon. And now Kline can shut out Gordon and take home this championship with punching 4 more strikes in the 9th and 10th. Wow. That's some authority on that 10-pin bouncing around.
Yeah, Miles is just trying to say, don't even think about having that 7 stand up there. I'm not afraid to bring that pin back up on the deck.
Foundation frame and pretty much a necessity. Keep that little extra pressure squeeze on your opponent. Let them know if they make a mistake, you're going to step up and try to force that second championship match. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought that was going to go a little high, and it just sat.
Seemed like it picked up on a lane and then laid there.
Yeah.
Well, the two of them are certainly breaking the lane down.
Yes.
So as the lane breaks down, it's going to continue to transition, and they're going to have to make that right maneuver to go along with it.
So this strike and 2 more in the 10th with good count would lock up the championship for Donaven Kline.
Got a chance.
Oh.
Got better than a chance.
No witnesses left to that assault on the 1-3 pocket.
Well, he definitely needs a double here in good count if he's going to shut him out.
I was trying to do the math here, but I'm going to focus on the camera. For 4 in a row. Steps it out. Half 10. And it's gotten real interesting.
Well, what he needs to do right now, more importantly, he needs to make this 10-pin.
Yeah.
Because if he makes this 10-pin and gets 9 on the last shot, maybe 8. Yeah, if he gets 8 on his spare 8 here, he forces Miles to throw the first strike. Okay.
All over it.
Yep. Convincingly. Fairly easy at that one.
So if he gets to 238, it's going to be 397. Yeah, and Donaven would need the first one.
He's going to need
count.
first one and good
And
count.
solid count.
Of course, they all fall down on that one.
All live streaming, 92.2% carry percentage on the fill ball. Doesn't matter if it was extra frame, flow bowling, bowl TV, this. 92.2% certified by $2 fill.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, Gordon's going to take a little extra time here to think about the adjustment he needs after the single pin in the 8th frame.
It's a must-strike situation. No strike here. Donaven Kline is the winner.
Comes high, 4-9.
4-9. Miles Gordon is going to be a little bit short here. You know what that means, Phil? That means 3 leaders in a row have come out here and become victorious. Donaven Kline is your U15 boys champion, everyone. And that means I'm going to have to leave you here, Phil.
Yes, indeed. We got to strap you up with that mic pack again and get you out on the lanes for that winner's check presentation.
Well, how about that match, everyone? Congratulations, Donaven.
Thank you.
Pretty outstanding. Miles. Well, everyone, Miles Gordon came out of the eliminator bracket, but he bowled outstanding. Needing the first strike there in the 10th, threw a great shot and left a 4-9. Unfortunately, coming up a little bit short, but young man, second place finish. Here's your second place trophy. Good for you. Nice bowling this weekend.
Thank you.
Anything you want to say to anybody?
Congratulations, Donnie. I know you haven't won one. You finally got yours. You know, good bowling today, man.
Good. Great deal. Congratulations. We're going to see you again, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Nice bowling again. And our U15 boys champion. You know, there is an old saying that goes, hard work and dedication can certainly pay off big dividends. You've been here a couple of times before and unfortunately didn't have the luck go your way, but boy, you turned it around in a big, big way today. So our 2024 U15 boys champion, check for $900 in smart money and trophy goes to none other than Donaven Kline. We can get you to say a couple of words. You got something you want to say or some people you want to thank?
Yeah, thanks to my mom and dad and everybody supporting me. And good bowling, Miles. That's it.
That's it? That's all you want to say? How about Dad drilling all your stuff?
Yeah, thanks to my dad teaching me everything.
Or did you drill your stuff?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Both. He does the work too. Yeah, it's real hard when you put 2 fingers in the ball, right?
Very.
Yeah, I understand. Well, either way, that's good. Good for you.
All right. Here you go. You're welcome.
We'll hold that. You hold your trophy.
All right, and with that, it's going to be a pretty quick turnaround. We'll be back in about 20 minutes or so with the U18 Boys and Girls Championships. Congratulations again to Donaven Kline, taking it with a great comeback in the second game of this 2-game total pin match. Our final 2 champions will be crowned shortly. Thanks for joining us on the Parker Bohn III Scholarship Tournament YouTube channel. Hey, tell your family, tell your friends, still 2 great matches to come, and we're going to have those simultaneously coming up for you in about 20 minutes or so stay tuned.